What is up guys, it's your boy Solheim here, back with another classic WoW video for Season of Discovery. Now today we're talking about gold making, and I want to showcase a couple of methods that I've personally been using to make a lot of very easy gold. This is not something that's going to make you incredibly rich, but I'm making about between 2 and 5 gold per method here every single day, and for me, it's adding up. Like, the more methods I use, let's just say I'm using 10 different methods, and every single method by itself gives me between 2 and 5 gold every single day. That is, once you have 10 different methods, that is 20 to 50 gold every single day through somewhat lazy methods to make gold. So that is what I'm talking about today, and I'm also going to be talking about how this can be useful in Phase 2. So the examples I'm showing you right now are for Phase 1, and you can do them right now to make a lot of gold for the remainder of Phase 1, and you can use the same ideology for these to make gold in Phase 2 as well. Either way, before we get into it, I do want to say a massive thank you to anyone who's picked up my Classic WoW gold making guide so far. This one is also usable for Season of Discovery, and I'm giving you early access to every single gold making video that I'm doing for Season of Discovery. For example, this one is going to be early access video number 15, and they're really varied. Like, sometimes I do gold farms, sometimes I do investments, and sometimes just regular crafting tips and tricks as well. So a bunch of different ways to help you make gold, and by having this guide, first of all, you get a 134 document all centered around gold making in Classic WoW, like which farms to do while leveling, which farms to do at max level, how to use professions to make gold, what to buy, what to sell, why to buy those items and why to sell them, just teaching you everything I personally know about how to make gold, and then once again giving you early access to videos as well, just to give you even more value for the product you're already paying for. Plus you get access to a private gold making community, and here's a kicker, you get all future updates for free, which means if you buy it now, you will also have the Phase 2 videos, the Phase 2 updates, everything for Phase 2, Phase 3 and Phase 4, and even future versions as well. You will have that by just purchasing the guide once, and the link to it will be down below in the video description or the pinned comment. Either way, let's get into some gold making, and let me show you a couple of the very easy and lazy ways that I'm personally using to make some gold right now in Season of Discovery. So to start off, we can take a look at cooking in this case, and we have my cooking page open right here, where you can see the, well, by using TSM, you can see the actual profit margins for every single craft. This one is not always absolutely correct. It really depends on when your last scan was and all of those things. So what I'm personally doing is I'm just looking at the crafting cost, using that kind of as a, or looking at the profits and using that as a baseline, but then I'm searching up the actual prices for the materials and the price of the crafted item on the auction house. So you can see, for example, for me, the Crocolisk Gumbo right now is very profitable. It costs me about 5.5 silver, or well, 6 silver here to make, and it's selling for 13 silver, even though that is not the actual value for the like majority of the service out there. But for me, it says that it's about 16 silver each. If I go to the auction house right now, we can check that out. I usually don't sell this on this character, by the way. I usually send things to my bank, so we won't have it on this TSM auction house. But if you take a look here, we can take a look at, for example, the heavy Crocolisk stew or Crocolisk gumbo. Yeah, we can take a look at this one, the stew. That's the one I usually make. So we have heavy Crocolisk stew, which is only a 1 silver profit margin, but this one has made me a lot of gold by buying these tender Crocolisk meat when they're cheap and selling them when they're expensive. I just wanted to mention that one right now because that is kind of an outlier. It's part of the cooking, but it's not part of the actual gold making strategy here. What's made me the most gold with cooking is 2 things. It's smoked bear meat and smoked sagefish. On top of that, you have the goblin deviled clams as well, but they usually don't make me that much. Like, as you can see here, they're 44 silver profit each, and the same thing with smoked sagefish, they're only 3 copper each. So the profit margins for these 2 are usually very bad, but the profit margin for smoked bear meat is usually very, very good. So once again, going back here, we can take a look at bear meat, for example, on my auction house, and you can see all I need to do to craft smoked bear meat is have a bear meat. There's no other vendor stuff here, there's only bear meat, and they're selling for 2.2 silver each. And if I go to smoked bear meat, for example, in a second here, so smoked bear meat, they're going for 5.5. That means I'm getting over 3 silver profit every single time that I make a smoked bear meat in this case. And why do they sell? Actually, before I talk about that, let me just buy up all the ones that you can see here, because these are way too cheap. So I'm just going to buy absolutely everything that is currently on the auction house, and the amount of gold that I'm making from this is absolutely disgusting, and they're selling all the time. I'm even going to buy this one for 3.3, because once again I'm going to be making over 2 silver profit every single time, so I'm just going to buy those as well. But yeah, once again, why do they sell? It's not only because it's a cooking item and it gives you like a stat buff. Actually, this one doesn't even give you a stat buff, but this one, for example, gives you a stat buff. That is not why they're selling though. They're selling because they're part of the Asterothian Commerce Authority, which is like the alliance type of Durotar supply. It's the brand new profession that came out in SOD, where you get waylaid supplies when you're questing in the open world, looting chests in the open world, doing dungeons and stuff like that. You can find them pretty much anywhere, and people want to have this reputation to get runes, right? If you get too friendly and honored and stuff, you can buy runes and other stuff from these guys, like the Spell Surge for Arcane Surge, lots of different runes that you can have. Skull Bash, for example, Single-Minded Fury. A bunch of people get a lot of their very good runes from these vendors. And then for professions, you have the Phoenix Bindings pattern, and also the plans for the Mantle of the Second War from having honored with these guys. So there's a bunch of reasons why you want to max out this profession. And if you take a look here for 200/500 rep, which means that only by filling this one up you get 300 extra rep. And you can see here we have the waylaid supplies for Goblin Deviled Clams right here. And we also have smoked bear meat and smoked sagefish. This means that if you want to sell the 3 things that I talked about, the Goblin Devil Clams, the smoked bear meat or smoked sagefish, sell them in the stacks that they are required for these crates. For example, smoked sagefish, you can have stacks of 15, don't sell a stack of 20. You can put up a stack of 15 for the same price as a stack of 20, and people will just buy the 15 one because they need 15. The same thing goes with the smoked bear meat. So for example, that one is really easy though, because it's a stack of 20, which means it's a full stack for the smoked bear meat. So just put up full stacks in that case and make some gold. The actual gold you make, by the way, from the smoked bear meat, it's absolutely ridiculous. Like, you just saw me buy 50 meat and they're gonna sell in a couple of hours, and that's gonna make me like, what, 2 gold profit just by crafting some stuff. And then we have the Goblin and Deviled Clams as well. So if you want to sell those, sell them in stacks of 8. That is the example for that specific gold making method. And why this could be relevant in phase 2 is that when phase 2 comes out, there will most likely be tier 3 supplies as well, because right now we have level 10 waylaid supplies, we have level 25 waylaid supplies, which means that when phase 2 comes out, we'll probably have level 40 waylaid supplies, and maybe even like level 30 or level 35 or something. We might get 1 additional tier or 2 new tiers for these supplies, taking us to revered and honored. And I'm betting they're going to put some very good stuff behind reputation here as well, like revered reputation or exalted reputation, and you're going to get way more rep from the brand new supplies that we might be getting in phase 2, in which case, if any of them requires cooking, we can already see, like even now, 1 month into phase 1, the cooking right here is really profitable, which means that it's pretty much a proof of concept at this point, that if it works the same in phase 2 and we have some cooking recipes that will be used in the brand new waylaid supplies, then they will be profitable, and not just for the first week, but for a long time. Once again, the smoked bear meat as well, selling a lot of them every single day. Do I have any stats on this character? I probably don't, but let me just check. I've bought, even like so far, I've purchased 500 smoked bear meat, and that is on this character where I started this 2 days ago. So in 2 days I've made 445 bear meat, and they give me about 2 to 3 silver profit every single time, which might not sound like too much, but once again, it's finding a couple of profitable methods and just stacking them. So when you have one method making you 2 to 5 gold every single day, and then just finding 10 different methods, that suddenly it's 20 to 50 gold every single day, right? And what I personally do here when it comes to crafting is that I just buy a bunch of stuff, I click craft all, and I go AFK. To give you some real life examples there of what to do, you can go take a shower, go make food, go vacuum clean something in the apartment, just do anything in real life for 10 minutes or 15 minutes, and then you can craft like hundreds of a cooking item, or like 150 to 200, whatever. You can just click craft all, go AFK for 10 minutes, do something, come back, and you will have made profit. It's so easy, and it's very like lucrative as well. It's just not gonna make you very rich, but it's a way to make some very easy gold. Using the same concept for something like mining as well, you can make a lot of gold just by smelting ores into bars. For example, on my server, I have been very successfully doubling the price every time I turn copper ores into copper bars. You can see right now it only says 30 copper profit, but hovering over here, the last scan was 35 minutes ago, and they're selling for 98 copper on my auction house, the ores, and the bars are going for almost 2 silver. So you can see if you buy it for 98 and sell it for 1 silver 98, you're making 1 silver for every single time you turn these into bars, like the ores into bars. So just crafting 100 of them, right? That is 1 gold, which once again won't make you rich, but finding 10 different ways to make 1 gold, suddenly you have 10 gold every single day. So copper bars, you can make 100 of those and sell them every single day. That is 1 gold. And then you can see smelting bronze as well, really profitable once again, half a copper each. And if you buy them cheap enough, like once again, you can even buy the ores, like copper ores, make them into bars, and then use those bars to make them into bronze, to make even more gold that way. And smelting silver as well is over 1 silver profit only from smelting ores into bars and selling the bars. It is very easy, very lazy, and pretty lucrative for something that is so straightforward and very easy, just turning ores into bars, and for some reason it's really profitable. Now this video dragged out a little bit longer than I was intending it for it to do, but I just kept I kept talking, and I wanted to explain everything, like what to do in depth, and talk about why to do, what to do, and what to sell, and also why it sells, and talk about how that can be done in phase 2. Because I have been rambling a little bit, I want to add one more way to make some very easy and somewhat passive gold in Season of Discovery as well, that I'm personally doing, and that is selling vendor recipes. For some reason, even if they're not like limited supply, people still buy them from the auction house instead of finding them in the world. Now, 2 of the ones that I have most success with myself are the Invoker's Mantle and the Invoker's Cord. As you can see, they're selling for roughly 25 silver each on the auction house, and they're selling for 6 silver from the vendor, which means you're making about 20 silver every single time that you're selling one of these. And you know what? I'm selling about 5 of these, like 5 of each of them every single day. So that is once again 1 gold every single day from this pattern, and 1 gold every single day from this pattern as well. Once again, not gonna make you rich, but it's finding all of these different ways to make a little bit of gold that will really add up over time and make you rich. I like, instead of putting all my eggs into one basket, I like spreading things out and just diversifying, making as much gold as possible in as many different ways as possible, and these patterns as well, really good. And once again, that just signals that if you find patterns like this in phase 2, you can make a lot of gold by just buying those from the vendor and throwing them on the auction house, and someone is going to be lazy enough to buy them. And once again, I'm selling like 5 of them every single day, so I'm just going to restock on a couple of them now and send to my bank as well. There we go. So to end the video on a quick recap, number 1, use cooking and craft specifically the waylaid supplies, like the items required for waylaid supplies, which in this case is the smoked bear meat, very good and very profitable on that one, and just put them on the auction house in the stacks they are required. And for phase 2, be on the lookout for cooking materials that are once again used in waylaid supplies. Method number 2 is literally turning ores into bars, and that one can be done in phase 2 as well, when we have access to iron, and I think either true silver or mithril, right? So you can melt those as well and make gold that way, simply turning ores into bars. And number 3 is buying recipes from the vendor and selling them on the auction house. Even better if you find recipes that are limited supply, but even ones that are not limited supply, as long as they're good enough and used by enough people, just throw them on the auction house as well. A specific example right now would be the ones that I just showed you, the Invoker's Mantle and the Invoker's Cord. So if you have anything like this in phase 2, throw them on the auction house. You will make so much gold. Like, once again, 1 to 2 gold every single day. It really adds up. Either way, that's the video for today. Bit of a long one, but I wanted to talk about this. It's really easy to make gold when you just diversify, and instead of thinking you want to hit the jackpot on one item, making like 5 gold profit on a craft, which is basically impossible right now, you can make a couple of gold here and there and just add those up and make a bunch of gold over time. Either way, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like down below. Let me know if you have any other easy gold making methods like this in the comments as well. And either way, I just appreciate you guys watching today. Thank you so much as always, and I'll see you again very soon.